Okay, everyone, we are about to take a first look at this Matrix Awakens like tech demo. I don't know what we want to call it. So this was announced at the Game Awards, right? And then it dropped the same day. Obviously we know the new Matrix movie is coming out. So at first when this was announced, I was like, oh, this has probably got some weird like not weird tie-in. You can understand it's got like a PR tie-in with the movie, right? It's like remember when Space Jam came out and then they had the like a free game that launched with that, but that was like a like more indie kind of style. Like a lot of big movies are starting to do this kind of stuff, right? Tie in with other media to see what's going on. So when it was announced at the Game Awards, I was like, oh, this is just like a placement thing that they're doing for PR. But over the last couple of days, people have been losing their minds over this to say, oh my God, this is like a crazy next gen showcase. So I thought we'd check it out. It's exclusive to PS5, Xbox Series S and X. So it's just next gen. It's not out on PC at the moment. So yeah, like obviously we know Unreal Engine 3 and 4, that's when it became like massive, and PS3 Unreal Engine 3 was big, last generation Unreal Engine 4 was big, of Epic fame. So this is obviously running on their new Unreal Engine 5. We get some technical details out of the way. Obviously you can see here is like 30 gig download. It's got like so what it's meant to be is like from over the last like year or two, building up to next generation, right? We saw loads of like tech demos from Unreal. They did a couple of PS5 tech demos, but whenever these next gen tech demos are shown, the reason like the community is like, whatever, this doesn't mean anything, because we don't never get to play those tech demos. Those are just literally like tech demos to show off kind of like a PR reel. But this is like one of a very few where it actually got launched to the public and we can try it ourselves. And again, obviously it's because it's got the Matrix tie-in. Obviously Warner Bros probably paid for something and it's like a good PR thing as well. It's not like free. Epic didn't do this off, like they will say that they did this, but they didn't do it off the kindness of their own heart, right? This is like a marketing push. That's why everybody was kind of ignoring it. But like now that people are understanding, oh, this is actually like a true next gen showcase. So that's why everybody's quickly paying attention to this. So it's totally free if you got like a next gen console. A lot of people haven't at the moment because scarcity and everything. But I thought we'll go in and check it out. While we're checking this out, we'll talk some specs and stuff as well. Again, I haven't fully tested it myself. I've probably played about 10 minutes off stream just to test audio stuff. But I've been doing some readings to see what this. Doing some reading online to see what the like specs and everything are and what this actually runs like. No spoilers for the movie stuff here. Again, it's just like it's a traditional tech demo, but they use the Matrix IP and it's actually showing off a lot of like next gen gaming tech. So that's why we're interested in it here, right? Even though I'm a Matrix fan and everything, we're more interested in the gaming side. This is meant to be a good visual showpiece of, like, at the moment we've got a lot of cross-gen games, right? They were made for last gen and next gen, and they can't fully utilize next gen because the install bases are all on last gen. So why would publishers want to only release a next gen game when there's probably like 10 million next gen consoles out in the wild, right? We probably got like 150 million last gen consoles. But this is one of the reasons people are calling for, look, we need to move over to next gen so we can get the best use of our consoles. I don't think I'm one of those people because I totally understand that everybody isn't in the same privileged position as me, want to be able to buy these next gen consoles or afford these next gen consoles or even get their hand on next gen consoles. So why would you advocate for last gen people can't play it? I can understand that means that we like the next gen versions aren't fully pushing graphics massively, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is let's just press enter here. There was some options there to turn off like ray trace, to turn off like subtitles and stuff. Nothing serious. So yeah, right off the bat, see if you can spot what is video and what is actually rendered graphics. Play it along. All right, so this I actually know. I don't know if I'm gonna spoil it, but this is meant to be like from the first Matrix movie, right? Apparently, this scene right here is rendered graphics. It's not a cutscene.
Of the real world. But computers are also mirrors, reflecting back who and what we are and the choices we make.
All right, that looks
The
like a
worlds
movie
we
video,
build,
right?
they also confront us with
I'm gonna say
questions
movie or game. That's how we'll
about
go easy
why
from
we
here.
want to choose this over that. Why we want to make
It still
X
looks like
instead of
movie.
Y. Where do ideas of who we are and what we want even come from?
You take the
It still
red
looks like
pill,
movie.
and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Obviously, we know this is movie. This is the
What
first
is
movie.
real?
Morpheus!
How do you define real?
For instance, I'm not even sure why I'm here.
All right, this is
I remember
game. You
waking
can
up
tell
and
now they
thinking
moved
that
shift
I'm
to game.
supposed to come here. That it was important
Like
for
his
me
face
to
looks different.
ask people, how do we know
That's
what is
definitely game.
real?
But obviously, we're streaming this and over the internet. I don't know if
Hi,
that looks like movie.
I'm Keanu
I don't know how
Reeves.
much you're gonna be able to
Over
tell.
20 years ago,
But
I
they're
first
using
played
a
the
lot of
character
film grain
Thomas
here
Anderson
to
in the
mask a lot of
Matrix
the stuff off.
trilogy. Those films pioneered digital cinema with shots like bullet time. Back then, we talked a lot about where the digital age might take cinema and narrative.
Apparently, this asset
In an
here,
industry where actors
Epic
have
actually
tried
went to
bring
Warner
in
Bros. And got the
perpetual
original
reality.
scene
We
from
wondered
that
about
footage. So
digital
they're using the
faces that
real
could
footage
become
from the
immortal.
movie there.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Moss, and I played Trinity in the Matrix films.
What's going on, Karen Moss?
20 years ago, we asked ourselves
Using
how
the
long
episode
it
of
would
Due
be
South. That is
before
so
faces
boomer.
and bodies
Nobody's
could be
gonna know
changed
what
as
I'm
easily
talking
as we
about.
change clothes.
We wondered, what would identity mean in a completely digital world?
And what would reality mean when a world we can build feels as real as our own?
All right, I gotta adjust the volume in here so I don't fully.
Whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, this is what they wanted. They said they were fine with your theoretical mumbo jumbo, but they needed some sexy action.
Alright, turn it down.
Who said?
The marketing people.
So this tech demo is in two parts. The beginning part is like a on rails kind of just like an on rail shooter, right? You only have limited options. And then the second part is like it's like a GTA open world, and you just get to like drive around the open world.
Sometimes miss this version of us.
Me too.
That goes. This looks
How are
real
you
good,
doing
almost
back
uncanny.
there?
So this is why this tech demo is doing the rounds. Again, if you got PS5 or Xbox Series S and X, you can try this yourself.
To be a little
So we'll get through this bit and I talk about
Agents are
technical
back.
specs as well.
Whatever
Actually, we'll do
you
it right
do,
now.
stay the hell away
So
from
this is
Mark.
running at between 24 and 30 FPS. This is running at about 24 FPS now, and it's got film grain over it. So what they're trying to do with this tech demo is make it actually look like it's the movie, right? So these bits are purposely 24 FPS locked, like a movie, and then when you get in the game, it's meant to be 30 FPS, but it's not locked for. Alright, let me turn this on. It's not locked 30 FPS. It like goes between 20 and 30 FPS. So performance-wise, it's not like the most stable thing. So here I can like select to shoot a tire. You know, I can't. It's not like free moving. So this is why I say, even though this bit looks really nice, it's like super on rails and stuff. So yeah, frame rate is like you can't really notice it here because again, this is like an on rails scene. I can't, you know, I'm assuming this is now 30 FPS. I know the open world section is. And another thing here is, this is like, so the Xbox Series S version is like 720p. The next gen versions are between 1080p and 1600p. From what I understand, most of the time they run around that 1080p mark. So even though this looks crazy good, everything, like, you know, like you understand what they had to cut back to get it to look like this. 30 FPS, 1080p. And we was all happy at one point because everything was 4K 60. But we always thought that, right? As soon as next gen, everything's 4K 60 at the moment because, you know, nothing's really pushing these next gen consoles, but like those frame rates are going to come down, that resolution's going to come down as soon as we got games starting to push that resolution, right? Push that fidelity and graphics. this looks really nice. This isn't all scripted, by the way. Apparently, like, you can replay this intro sequence, and the way that cars crash and everything can be totally random and different.
The big gun.
Thought you'd never ask.
Also, the other next big thing here is why people will be curious. This is ray traced as well. This has full ray tracing. I don't know if it's full ray tracing, but this has a lot of ray tracing. And this is also using the hardware ray tracing chips in the next gen console. So this is not like a software ray tracing. This is actual hardware ray tracing. So like this is why this is a true next gen showcase, because ray tracing, it's got like loads of effects and everything for Unreal Engine 5. Apparently Unreal have like spoken to some press and PR, gaming PR sites, press sites, to say they're gonna release the assets of this tech demo to everybody for next year. I wonder if that's just game companies or literally everybody, because Unreal Engine did a thing where like anybody could code for it and develop for it, right? And like it was free up until you earn $1 million. They was doing some push a couple of years ago, right? So I wonder if they released that to the general public, same people who make GTA mods and stuff, and see what they could do. So the other big thing to talk about here with this, not only does it look nice and everything, the reason this is very interesting on a technical level, besides the, oh, it's really pushing the next gen consoles, apparently a lot of this, like this was like a 60-70 man team at Epic. So this is the first section of the demo over, but a lot of this is auto-generated. Like this is how they're making Unreal Engine 5. They're using a lot of real assets and they're programming it into the engine, where the engine could literally like make a world. So this is why this is like doing the rounds on the dev side to say, oh, this is fascinating, because a lot of this is like AI generated. So here is just gonna do a flyover, and I can like, you know, turn on and off these effects. Like this is like a real tech engine demo-y type now. So I can like, you know, turn the cars on or off, or you can see all the little effects and everything. Toggle night and day cycle. To see what it looks like. But we here on this channel, I mean, I stream a lot at 1080p, 720p, so I can't push higher resolutions anyway, because that's just where the streaming space is. So I don't really care too much about 4K stuff. But we've always been here like on the, oh, we'll take better FPS, we'll take better visuals, lower the resolution, you know. I have like no problem. Toggle display rendered pixels. Yeah, I have no problem with them reducing resolution just to get the game looking better. You know, I don't get that push for 4K anyway. And this is where it goes to overworld. Where I say GTA style overworld just to give you a quick example, isn't it? Like this is the what. One, this is a small team. Two, this is not a full game. This is a tech demo. And three, this uses a lot of Unreal Engine 5 auto-generated stuff, right? So, you know, this isn't like a living, breathing, like open world with all the gameplay scripts and everything. Does that make sense? We just have like walk around, have a look. So this is why this is like, this is the reasons this is like very interesting, right? One is a truly next gen showcase. Two, a lot of this is like auto generated, which is fascinating, right? Press Y to fly drone. So if I wanna look around the world. I do wish you had a little bit more options to turn things like motion blur down. It's super heavy here, but they probably have got it on just a mask that is, this is running at like 30 FPS, right? When you got menu stuff here, it has got some options, which is interesting. like they've stuck into the whole Matrix theme of, oh, you're Neo logging into the Matrix kind of thing. Let me turn this up a bit so you can hear this a bit better. They've got that whole thing like you're Neo logging into the Matrix kind of thing, where it lets you change, like, you know, like time of day and everything, and like exposure level and aperture and focus distance. And if we go here, you know, you can change like the sun rotation. You know, of like what time, when, where do you want it to be. Change the crowd density, change the traffic density. Matrix, oh, matrix filter on and off. That green tinge. Oh, actually I want to turn that off. I want to see. And then this is their, like, this is what the engine actually looks like without textures and stuff on it. Controls, and then that's the map. All the little clips and stuff I've seen is with the matrix filter on. So, you know, imagine this is your next I don't know, GTA, or this is your next next Ubisoft open world game, you know. They all use their own in-game in-house engines, right? I don't know. Like, so this is what you have to understand. One, this is like a PR thing where Warner Bros probably paid Epic. Also, this is like Epic wants people to use their engine, right? Because they make a cut of money out of every game that ships with their engine, right? I mean, they could have worked on that UI for the Speedo. I'm just saying. So like, this is why I say this. Like, people say, oh yeah, but this looks so good and everything, whatever. Why can't every dev do this? This is not like a fully programmed world, right? Like, driving doesn't feel great here. Engine sounds are not great here. But this is not what this is meant to be, right? This is just a tech demo. What was I saying? Sorry, I totally lost track of my thought. Yeah, so like this is why Epic has done this also. They want people to make their next gen games in Unreal Engine 5, right? So this is a good showcase of, oh, come use our engine. I'm just curious what happens. Oh, chat goes, it looks better without the filter. Yeah, I've only seen video footage of everybody using it with the filter. So apparently what's interesting here, like their crash physics and everything, whenever you crash, it tanks the frame rate a little bit. Like, I can't tell it's running at I mean, the motion blur like masks a lot of the low frame rate stuff here, but like what I always say when we play games at 60, like those games that have the option in game to run at 60 or 30 is only when you toggle side by side you see the low frame rate flicker, right? If you come into something straight away that is low frame rate, it's harder to tell, right? So for like cinematic experiences and all that, like, I don't mind it so much. Like, I guess the PC crowd really hates that. Like, oh no, I can't do it. But like, you know, us console lot, we're kind of used to this stuff, so I don't mind it that much. But yeah, this is basically it. This is like, you just drive around. I mean, I think anyway. I don't think there's anything else here. But you just drive around the overall. So just like, again, this is just a tech demo. What else is there to talk about here? So yeah, ray tracing on 1080p, 30 FPS. Apparently their crash physics isn't really their next gen tech. Apparently, like, they're like bolting on some of their old tech. That's why it takes a dip in like frame rate whenever you crash. you know, you're not driving on your cars like that, right? It seems very ragdolly. Yeah, the one option I wish they had here was to turn down motion blur. Let me turn back Matrix filter on. I mean, the Matrix filter gives it like a cool design, cool artistic look. Sorry. All right, again, because I didn't have a lot of chance to play this, like over the weekend, was busy with other video footage. I just want to kind of drive around. Yeah, the motion, I'm gonna be honest with you, the motion blur is giving me a headache. It's too much. Yeah, when you start to go like fast here, then you can tell, oh, okay, this is like low FPS. You're driving slow, you can't tell that much. But yeah, like, you know, so one, this is a PR thing for Matrix 2. This is a PR thing for Epic to get people to use this for their next gen engines. For that bigger conversation of, wow, if this is a lot of this is auto generated, could this save on, you know, like big studios having to hire hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 plus people to make these big open world games, right? I wonder if this next gen tech can make it where you can have smaller teams and this smart AI technology can help build this world, right? I mean, especially if the world is based on like real looking assets, right? If it's going to be artistically designed, they probably still have to hire a lot of artists, right? But from what I understand is like they're trying to build out their engine with a lot of, oh, this is a real car, that's a real mailbox, this is what a real mailbox looks like. We can just put it into the engine and then spawn like 1,000 of them, right? So for that air quotes a realistic looking style of game, it could be easy to do. Apparently the other big thing is meant to be with this engine, it's really meant to cut down or borderline eliminate like pop-in here. And I've been complaining about pop-in for the last couple of big next gen releases, right? I was like, oh, even with the new Forza, I was like, oh, you know, it just like takes away from that magic because you can see that pop-in. Yeah, apparently the way they're doing it here helps eliminate a lot of that. Like that's the one thing that spoils a lot of games for me. I was like, oh, that totally takes me out of the immersion. It's funny. Apparently, Keanu Reeves was doing. Oh, we've shot all over like crypto and NFTs on this stream, right? Apparently over the weekend, I think he did like an interview with The Verge or something, and he was shitting on them also. But in that same interview, like they asked him about, yo, what's going on? What do you think about a new Matrix game? And he was like, didn't we have one 16 years ago? They kind of dropped the ball with it, innit? I was like, damn, so true. And he was like, yeah, if they want to do it, I'm down. I'm just saying, this tech demo is fully here, right? Like, again, this is not like a full game, right? There's nothing else going on here, but like, how much more would it take to use this as a base and like make a Matrix game? That'd be kind of cool. Can we drive? Yeah, seriously, motion blur is borderline making me nauseous. Like, and I like motion blur as well, but like this is too strong. I'm just trying to think. Is this the first next gen showcase? It's kind of hard to make these judgments on the fly. I guess I should have played like an hour of it off stream to see what I think. Again, this is going to be useful for more of the everybody who hasn't got a next gen console and is not out on PC, so you can watch this video and see, right? Sorry, it's probably going to be a lower resolution on Twitch and YouTube, live stream and all that. So if you have got a next gen, just download it and check it out, see what you feel. I mean, considering, I guess this is the more scary thing for us, right? Considering this is just a tech demo, it is not a full game, and it's 30 gig. Oof. I mean, what does a true next-gen game look like built on this tech? Or is that like something we don't have to worry about because this has all the art assets? This has all the art assets and everything already, right? The other stuff would just be like video and sound and blah blah blah. So you know, that'll probably be like 10-20 gig more. Because if this is like a full rendered city, it's not a world, it's a city, right? It probably won't have to be that much bigger. I don't know, but I'm just saying for a tech demo that is 30 gig. Like, wow, imagine what would a full game look like based on this tech. Do you know what this looks like to me? Just like off the bat, like, you know, when you randomly stumble across these YouTube videos and they're like, oh, the YouTube community, sorry, not the YouTube community, the GTA community has like modified GTA to like add ultra realistic textures and everything, and it runs like ass, and it's like filtered to hell, right? It's like, oh my god, that looks so good, whatever. This looks like that. Obviously, this looks better than that. It kind of looks like that. But this is running live on a console. This is not like, you know, one tiny part of the map and customized to all hell, right? This is like fascinating. I wonder if it just, again, like the whole, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see how this came about, right? Did Warner Brothers pay a shit ton so this could be like a marketing gimmick, or was like Epic like, no, we need a way for people to invest in our next gen engine, so this just fits in nicely. Because again, these kind of tech demos don't literally get released, right? We just see them in like the Game Awards and stuff, and then they're never heard from again. I know their last one, apparently there was like a weird way you could get it to run on PC, like you could compile it yourself. And I know I'm driving the wrong way. Just want to see. Oh, this is not great frame rate. This is in the 20s. Or it could be, actually, it could be like that. Maybe it's running at 30 and it's just that they're still trying to go for that effect of 24 FPS. The film grain massively helps here, though. All right, let's try one more time to... Let's change sun rotation. Let's turn down traffic density to 50. Let's turn that filter off. What the hell was that? Oh, that's the light effect. Matrix filter off. Let's do... I can't remember where it was. I'm sure there was a time. Wasn't there a time of day? Exposure, aperture, focus length, focus distance. Was it on 4 before? All right, let's drive around a tiny bit more. That'd be a good. Oh, chat is going. That's just for photo mode. You know what, chat? Pro streamer. Okay, I'm very intelligent. That's what you have to understand. That's what you have to understand. Okay, that makes total. That makes total sense. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. It says a photo mode right there. Hide UI. Okay, chat. I guess the only thing that we have to like affect gameplay is this sun rotation, crowd, visualization, traffic source, and filter. That is going to happen to them as well. All right, saved. I was like, oh no, this is so cool. It's letting us affect how the world really looks. Da, 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 da. And it says a photo mode right there. I wonder why they put so much into, oh, we're making this game look so good, yada yada yada, and they use the ugliest. Did I turn off Matrix or off? They use the ugliest speedometer, the our text that I've ever seen in my life. It's like the biggest text size you've ever seen. Yeah, this is really fascinating. I wonder, like, oh, if you get a next-gen console for Christmas, you know, pick up a lot of games for it, and you really want to see what next-gen consoles can do, just, you know, save 30 gigs of space and download this and see. I guess you can kind of see in a video, you know, if you don't want to download 30 gigs. Fascinating. Is this a look into the future for 3 years time? You know, this is what next gen games will look like. I actually have no clue. Like, even with the AI rendered world and everything, can this really be like this level of fidelity? You know, with everything going on, like a full game going on in the background. I was gonna say, well, you know, maybe with like visual effects and every action sequences, but then again, that first clip, right, that first part of this demo, or the action bit, and apparently from what I understand, that first section of the demo, it's actually like, it's not a total different engine and they're just scripting it in like a separate action sequence, whatever. It's actually at a point in this real world. It's a hard way. This is a hard thing to explain. It's not like a scene that is generated on itself just so you can see what do particle effects and action effect looks like. It's actually still based in this world. That just shows that this engine can actually do, with a decent amount of performance, like action sequences as well, right? Because again, this is just, if you think about it, it's just cars driving around, right? With simple AI. Somebody tell that to Cyberpunk. Yeah, very interesting. We'll see. Let's come back to this video in I say 2 years time. If the next gen consoles continue to sell well, that's the only way publishers are going to be like, okay, we're not making cross gen games anymore. I've already given my thoughts on that. I've got no problem with it. Again, world's in a weird place. Everybody can't afford these flashy consoles, and like, unless, you know, devs actually decide this would be the correct thing to do, right? No, we're gonna make 2 different branches of our game. We're not gonna make a game that can, like, you know, is a cross-gen game and we can lower the resolution and graphics and everything to make it on last gen. Just actually make a proper next gen version and a proper last gen version, so you can get the sales for last gen games, because there's a bigger install base, and you can have your showpiece for next gen again, that would cost them a lot of money, and you know, publishers out here about making money, not losing money. So you know, let's hope these next gen consoles continue to sell well, and they're not there's not a supply problem and everything because of COVID, and maybe we get to see something like this in 2 years. But it's funny, the next gen consoles have been like, is like a year now, right? And I've been saying for the longest time, obviously I got a next gen console because content creator and cover everything, but I've been saying for the longest time also, there's no need at the moment to buy a next gen console. You know, we're about to do game of the year and everything soon. There was a couple of good games that came out, but nothing really I was saying like, oh, this feels next gen, you couldn't play this on last gen, right? It's not a revolutionary experience. So with money being tight for everybody and consoles being hard to get hold of, you know, this a little bit more proves that, oh yeah, you don't really need to jump on next gen yet. Like, you could, if you have to, you could wait a year, because hopefully this is what games look like soon, because there's nothing that looks like this at the moment, you know. There was a thread on Era, I think I saw, about, oh, potential games that are coming out that could look as good as this, and those are like maybe out in like 2 years, and some of those were just trailers as well, so we don't know if actual games are gonna be able to look like this good on console, right? So I guess the takeaway from this is, yeah, there's nothing actually that looks like this at the moment. This isn't a real game. You could hold on to your last gen consoles for at least another year, right? If you have to. With that bombshell, I think we're gonna call it with this one. Yeah, this will be good up as a highlight over on Twitch, YouTube. We did stream this over on Twitch. When I do upload these videos to YouTube's compression does like make these videos look even worse. If you want to see the higher bitrate version, there'll be a link to it. It'll be up on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, don't forget we stream a couple times a week over there. We've got a community Discord and I post all the time. I post on Twitter all the time. Come check us out. Again, all that information will be in the description. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear your take on this. Or, like, you know, if you're lucky enough to own a next gen console, try it out. Let me know, again, let me know what you thought if you did get a chance to try it out. Drop a like if you liked the video. Don't forget to follow and subscribe and turn those notification bells on so you do know when new videos drop, depending on what you're watching. Other than that, we're gonna call it this one. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Peace.